Hello, I have the video you've all been waiting for. Yay! Okay, so there's a couple things I need to tell you before we get started, okay? I'm going to sign pages 7 through, I believe, 26 tonight, so about 20 pages. I did not do the very first part where I believe it's Laura talking about the bird flying around, and it's, the bird is learning a lesson or something like that. I didn't do that part yet. It's incredibly artistic, and I want to do a little bit of research before I do it for you. So I'm gonna do a separate video with that. It's incredibly difficult to do, and so I want to do a separate video just for that one piece. The rest of it, through page 26, I've got it all ready, and I'm going to sign it for you today. A couple things you have to know, though. ASL doesn't have word-to-word correspondence. So what that means is that when you're signing ASL, for example, if I want to say I like the dog, it's gonna be dog I like. That's how ASL is. The grammar is not the same as in English. It's kind of flipped, more like Spanish, really. And then the other thing that you have to know is that sometimes I'm going to tell you a sign, and you're going to say, that doesn't make sense. But trust me, I'm getting the concept out there. Some things you just can't say in ASL. It doesn't mean you can't convey the message. It just means there's truly not a word that is specific. It's not one-to-one correspondence. And I can't think of an example right now, but we'll hit several. I also have it typed out in what's called a gloss. It's all in capital letters, and I typed it out based on the parts from pages 1 through 26 so that you can look at it and you can match what I sign to what you see on paper. Because it doesn't really necessarily match the script, so to speak. I mean, it's the same thing that the script means, but it's not word for word. And that's the best way I can explain it. I promise you that if I was interpreting this play, if I was up there on stage and I was signing it, I would sign it exactly the same way. I wouldn't change anything. So I didn't alter the play in any way, except for I took out that one part at the very beginning. But I'm going to do it. It's just really hard. I didn't alter the play. I signed everything that I had that said was signed on it. But the grammar is in ASL word order, and sometimes the vocabulary is going to be like, this doesn't make very much sense. And just trust me, it matches, okay? So we're starting off on page 7, page 7 is where the Laura part starts, and so I have the very, very beginning, where she says, let me get the script in front of me. I'm sorry. The first thing that she says is, okay, kids, look at me. If you were going to sign that, you would sign okay, like that. And then children, pay attention. If you want to say specifically look at me, it would be look at me. But she means pay attention. So you can say look at me or pay attention. And it's okay, children, look at me. Or okay, children, pay attention. Okay? And then we skip, really, that part is long, and it goes all the way to page 10. So you're going to get a video specifically to that. It's really difficult. Okay, the next part we have is Adam saying, today it's my birthday. I think that's exactly what he says. He says, it's my birthday. When you say it's my birthday, you would say today, birthday, my. Okay, and then Dan has a part that's not signed, says that his birthday party is tomorrow. Then Dr. Wiseman signs O, so O-H, I-C, happy birthday. And gift or present, pick. Sorry, I need to. You what? Then Adam says computer game power, P-O-W-E-R R-A-N-G-E-R-S, Power Rangers. There's no sign for Power Rangers, so you finger spell it. So it's P-O-W-E-R-S. Rangers. Then Dr. Wiseman has a part that's not signed. And then Dan says to Adam, that might sting a little bit. In ASL, you say, hurt, little, maybe. Okay? So it's hurt, little, maybe. Then there's a big part that's skipped. And it says, Dan says, this is a lousy way to meet the new doctor, isn't it? And for that, you would say, meet new doctor, shot, lousy. And the reason you say shot there, even though it's not in the script specifically saying shot, is because in ASL you always refer back to what you're talking about. So you would never say that's a lousy way. You would always say what the way is, what exactly is lousy. So again, you would say meet new doctor, shot, lousy. Then there's a large portion that is not signed between Dr. Wiseman and Dan. And then Dan says, there's a part of that that's not signed. And then there's a sentence that he says that is signed that says, Mommy taught you to sign, right? And it says, Mom teach you sign, right? And this is right as in correct. If you're saying right or left, it's different. So, Mom teach you sign, correct? Now we're on page 12. And Adam, page 12, go. Sorry. And then Adam says, Mommy, give me magic hands. And you would literally say, Mom, give me, this is the hand shape, give me hands, magic. And then Dan says, and he says, she tells him his hands are magic because they speak all the words in the world and express all the colors of the rainbow, and they are beautiful as the stars. So you would sign, talk all the words all over the world. Then you would say they express colors from the rainbow. And they're beautiful, same as the stars. And then you would do this to show the stars in the sky. So stars, and then like the dots in the sky. And then Adam says, correct. So correct again. You can do correct or correct. If it was a deaf person, they'd say more correct or right. And then there's a big long part all the way to page 13 that's not signed. And we get to the part on page 13 where they're talking about the CI or the cochlear implant. And Adam says, will it hurt? I couldn't tell in my script if that's supposed to be signed or not. I couldn't tell if it's highlighted, but it made sense to me that if it was Adam, he would be signing. So it says, excuse me, I'm really sick. Will it hurt? Don't let him hurt me. So you would say, where did I write? Okay, well, first Dan says we don't want anything stuck in his head, and I didn't know if that was signed or not. So cochlear implant is signed. Cochlear implant, this is the hand shape, and you put a cochlear implant goes right here on your head. So you put it right here on the head, and you say we and don't want. Okay, don't want. And then Adam says, don't let him hurt me. And you sign hurt, permit. That's one of those signs that doesn't make sense, but it's permit as in don't let. So hurt, permit, hurt, don't. So don't let him hurt me. So hurt, and it's more of a question like hurt, is it going to hurt? Permit, hurt, don't let it hurt me. Okay, so don't. And then Dan says what? He says what? No, don't worry, I won't let anybody hurt you. And so you say what? No, worry, don't. Hurt you, permit, I, not. Okay. And then we go all the way to where Barbara Cannon has that big long part. 13. Sorry, somehow I got out of order. Barbara Cannon has that long part where she says, for the record, my name is. And she said, so for the record, just to let you know, because that's what she's trying to say. For the record, name, my, and then you spell her name out. B-A-R-B-A-R-A. There's a really slight pause. And then C-A-N-N-O-N. Don't go like this when you're finger spelling. Just B-A-R-B-A-R-A. C-A-N-N. See how my N's, I just bounce it? O-N. Cannon. And then she says, have a PhD in linguistics. It's an L to an S. Teach American Sign Language there, mean at, the Woodward School for the Deaf. You would finger spell Woodward School for the Deaf. So it would be Woodward School for, take the V out, deaf. Okay? And then she says Woodward School for the Deaf. First, it's important to understand that American Sign Language is not mimed approximation of spoken English. She said, first, important, understand, ASL, not mime, specific, same, spoken English. Okay? And then she says, it is an entirely unique, complex language unto itself. And you would sign itself, special, complex, sign, include many things. This is like saying it includes lots of things. Separate, what, only, language. Abstract, talk. So it's abstract. And you say talk, one is visual. Write has two. Okay, and it's talking about the dimensions. It has 2 dimensions. Sign has 3 dimensions. Okay, and then she says, so that's the part where she says it's unique. The most remarkable aspect of sign, what sets it apart from all the other languages. So I said, special, complex, sign, include, point them. What makes it separate from other, makes it separate, what, only language that's abstract. Talking is 1 dimension. And then she says writing has 2 dimensions. Notice how I shoulder shifted when I changed the subject to writing. So it's talking is 1 dimension. Writing is 2 dimensions. And you can add but. But only sign is communicated through 3 dimensions. So I said, to sign 3 dimensions to communicate. And then she says, of the human body, using the body, and then add time and space. And she doesn't mean like outer space, she means like space, like this kind of space. So using your body, and then you add the time and the space. And that's the part where she says that you use the human body with added dimension of time and space. Okay? That's actually a pretty hard part. Now we are on page 16. And this is where Laura is talking about the birthday, I think. There's a part at the top of page 16 that on mine is not highlighted. If I need to give you the signs for that limitless number of spatial relationships of the hands and 4 dimensions, make sign language a language overwhelming, intricacy, subtlety, and beauty. I can't tell if that's supposed to be signed or not. Because here it's highlighted, but here it's not. So if I need to, let me know. Now we're at the Laura part. Where do 15 kids get all the energy? Okay. She says, where do 15 kids get all the energy? Everything is run, run, run. Of course, give 15 kids chocolate birthday cake and ice cream. And what do you expect? They shoot off into space like rockets. So you say, all together, 15 children full of energy. All day, run, run, run. Now the sign for run is run, but because you're talking about them running around, you do run, run, run. Of course, birthday cake, chocolate, ice cream, pass out. Notice between birthday cake and ice cream, my shoulder shifted. So birthday cake and ice cream, pass out. And then what does she say? So you pass it out to those 15. So you're passing it, you pass it out, and then you point, like there's 15 kids there. 15. And then you point to your head, expect what? Boo! And a deaf person would do that. Boo! Like a rocket. Okay? So what do you expect part, you go, expect what? Boo! Like a rocket. Again, a deaf person would go, boo. They really would. And now we're on the page 17, where Laura says, where is mom? Okay? And mom, where? Mom, where? That's how you would say it. And then Max says, in the kitchen, washing plates. So you point like the kitchen. So wherever the kitchen is on your set, you point in that direction. So point to the kitchen, and then plates, wash. And then Laura says, they're paper plates. We throw them away. She doesn't need to wash them. So you sign that. Plate, paper, throw. Wash, need not. And then Max says, cleaning makes her happy. And you can't say make. Make is the wrong sign there. And the other thing you would say when you're talking about making someone happy is inspiring happiness, but that's not really what she's feeling. So I sign enjoy. If I was interpreting it, that's how I would sign it. So Max, cleaning makes her happy, is what Max says. And so you sign clean, she, enjoy, she. Okay? And then Laura, again, you're going to point to wherever Laura is at on the set. Okay? Now, you're not pointing like this. You're just kind of pointing in that general direction. Like you've set her up in a space. Okay? If you're talking about Laura, you're always pointing back to the same spot. Don't just point in different directions. Point always back to the person wherever they're at if you're pointing in your reference to a person. And then Laura says, cleaning makes nobody happy. Clean, no one enjoys. Okay? Damn, birthday party you like. Then Dan says, did you like your birthday party? It was great seeing all your friends here. And so you sign that birthday party you like. Friends came. This is like saying they came to the place. Like all the kids like bum rushed the party. So birthday party you like. Friends came here. See, visit, fun, great. That's how you would sign it. Okay? Did you like your birthday party? It was great seeing all your friends here. And then Adam says, but Mark didn't come. And then so you say, but Mark not come. Why? And then Dan says his mommy called. She said he didn't feel well. And Dan says, Mom, his, call me. Call comes to your body. Call. Say, feel sick. Okay? And then Adam says he doesn't like me anymore. And you would sign he, not like me, he. Okay? And then Dan says, sure he does. He still likes you. And that would be signed, yes, sure, like you still. Remember, if you're pointing at Adam because we're talking about Adam being liked. Okay? And then Adam says, he said I was weird now. And then you sign that, he say me weird now. Okay? Then Max says, who said that? Who's Mark? Say that You can do that two ways. You can do that or that. So say that who, Mark who. That's how you would sign it. And Dan says the boy next door. And so you would say boy live next door. So boy live next door. Now we are on page 18. And Max says the hearing boy. It's not really a question. She just says the hearing boy. And then boy, he, hearing, he. And then Dan says, yes, the hearing boy next door. And you sign, yes, boy, hearing, live, neighbor. Same as next door. Really, it's the same. And then Max says, don't worry about Mark, forget about him. And then you would sign, don't worry. Now see how my head is shaking? I don't actually sign don't. I just shake my head. So don't worry, Mark, forget him. So you're talking about Mark, so you're pointing to wherever you set Mark up in space. So don't worry, M-A-R-K, forget him. Okay? Where are we at? Dan. I'll handle this, okay. And so for I'll handle this, you say me, take care of me, okay? And then he says, you're a wonderful boy. You, wonderful boy, you. Don't you ever forget that. And then you say, forget that not. And then you're the most important thing in the world to me. So me, you. So you're like I cherish you. Okay, so I cherish. This is like you are so important to me. You important to me. Okay? And then as you grow up, you would sign since you grow up. You could sign that with two hands if you wanted. Grow up. So grow up. You have many, many friends. Some are deaf and some are hearing. Again, talking about two things, so you shoulder shift. So some are deaf, some are hearing. And then Adam says, do you have hearing friends? And it's hearing friends you have. Now, right now, and I haven't mentioned this yet, part of grammar in ASL is on your face. So when you're asking a question, depending on what kind of question it is, your eyebrows will go up. If it's a question that doesn't have a WH word in it, like what, where, who, when, why, and how is considered WH, then your eyebrows go up. So like, are you nice? Or what do you think? Those kinds of questions, your eyebrows go up. If it's a question like, where's your mom? Your eyebrows go down. Okay? So where is your mom? Do you have hearing friends? Right? Where's mom? Mom, where? Do you have hearing friends? Hearing friends you have? See, my eyebrows are up. It's actually pretty important. All right. Where are we at? Then Dan says, me? Well, yes, of course. I have many. He says, I have a lot. So, me, have, many. And then he stops to think. And so he might touch his head and think. And, and then he kind of goes, well, now I'm thinking, And then he says, I used to. This kind of means previous. That's what it means. I used to, like before I did. And then he changes the subject and he says, how's your knee? Does it still hurt? And so you point down and then you finger spell Knee for knee. Let me fix that in that gloss I have here. So, and then, so point down Knee. How? Hurt? Still? Does it still hurt? Your eyebrows are up. And then Adam says, no, Band-Aid. Or no, I have a Band-Aid. You go, nope. If it's for nope, you still sign no, but it's much quicker because nope is you say it fast. So for nope, you'd be like, nope. And then he says, I have a Band-Aid. So you would sign Band-Aid, have me. So Band-Aid, have me. And then Max says, I drove all over the city to find these baseball cards for him. And you would sign, city, I drive around. Why? Find baseball card for him. Again, wherever Adam's at, you're pointing at wherever he is. But when he opens them, this is where she says, when he opened them, he looked confused. But open looked like confused. So again, but open looked like confused. And like he didn't know what they were. You never gave him baseball cards before. You would sign like baseball. Let's see. Okay. This is the same as saying same. Like baseball cards, clueless. Like he didn't know what they were. Clueless. Baseball cards, give before you never. Okay. So baseball cards, give before you never. And then Dan says he's got computer baseball cards now. Baseball cards, now computer. And all on a CD-ROM. And you would say include, and you finger spell CD-ROM. And you can do disc like this. So CD-ROM, disc. Now, deaf people finger spell very quickly. Very quickly. So it's going to seem when you're trying to practice this, they're like CD-ROM, disc. It's going to seem like it's really long to say that. But a deaf person, it would be CD-ROM, disc. So you need to practice that. Okay? And then it says he clicks the mouse and gets his favorite player. So you literally, like you're clicking your mouse, click, 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 and then pop up. This is called line pop on the gloss that I sent. It has line pop. Line pop, favorite play list. Okay? And then it says it finger spells 1,000,000 stats, full color highlights of each player's career. So you would finger spell. This is the list. It lists the stats and explain. This sign is since, history, player. The reason you do since is because you're talking about like his full career, like his entire career. And this sign, although it's called since, it means a passage of time, like since the entire history of that player. Okay? Page 19. Page 19. Do they put a stick of bubble gum in the disc? And so you say, disc, have gum, and you draw the rectangle of gum for like a stick of bubble gum. And Dan says, I don't think so. And you sign not, think, and then so. And then he's only 6. I would point, he only 6 years old. Comes from your chin, 6 years old. He caught my computer bug. And then you say, he, same as me, fascinated computers. Okay? And then Max says, you infected him, and you literally would sign, you influence him. Okay? You infected him. You influence him. Or you, as in, Max is pointing at Dan. So Max would point to Dan and say, you influenced him, whoever or wherever you've set Adam up. And then Dan says, Adam is not deaf in cyberspace. Technology is a great equalizer. That's the beauty of it. Hearing is not an issue on the internet. So Adam, and y'all need to decide if you're going to give name signs to these people. So are you going to give Adam a name sign? And a name sign, it's just a sign that represents that person. So Adam could be Adam, or you could just finger spell Adam over and over again. But every time his name is said, you need a way to say it. So if you want to give him a name sign, you can, but that's up to you what you determine it to be. So Adam is not deaf in cyberspace, not deaf there on the internet. And then you would finger spell cyber, I'm spelling it wrong, cyberspace. And then technology is the great equalizer. Technology equal. And then all over the world. So this is a sign that would indicate like it's equal for everybody. So technology equal all over world. That's the perfect, that's the beauty of it. So you sign that perfect beauty. And then hearing is not an issue on the internet. And so you say, use internet, hearing, can. Issue, none. Internet is all, A-L-L-D-A-T-A, data. So the internet is all data. And that's the part where he says, it's all pure data. Pure information, pure communication. And you say full of information. So full of information and full of communication. And then Max says ASL is full communication. It's visual. It's alive. It's alive. Okay? You can't type it on a keyboard. Type, can't. And then needs 2 living, breathing human beings. Okay, it needs 2 living, breathing human beings. Need 2 people alive, breathing. And then this is a sign face to face. And then you look at each other. And then you have to interact. Okay? And then it says sign language would evaporate in cyberspace. So use the internet only, and then sign would disappear. The literal translation is it would melt. That's the only word that people use for this sign, but it means to disappear or dissolve. So use the internet only, and the signs would disappear. And then Dan says, they now have a computer that reads ASL. Yes. So he says, now have computer read ASL. Yes. You sign into the monitor and the computer reads your signs. Monitor, sign, computer reads your signs with visual technology, and the signal translates it. And so, yes, you sign into the monitor, the computer reads your signs, and with a visual sensor, it translates it. And that's really all you need to say. Yes, you sign into the monitor, the computer reads your signs with a visual sensor that translates it. So again, that part is now have computer read ASL. Yes, here's the monitor. You sign to the computer, and it reads it, the signs, and with visual technology, the signal translates it. Okay, and Max says it's not the same. It's not the same. Okay, now we're on page 20. And Sally says, that was a wonderful birthday party. I love seeing the backyard full of happy little deaf children running, laughing, and playing. And so she says, birthday party, wonderful. See the yard, it's grass area, full of deaf children. Happy. I love it. I run, laugh, and play. And you move play around. So remember, run is this, but you're shortening it because you're running around the yard. And then laughing and playing around. Okay? And then Laura says, what about you running around with all those kids? Why do we pay $150 for a guy dressed like Batman when we have you? And you say, what about you? Okay? And then the kids run around, pay $150 for a man dressed the same as Batman. Why have you? Okay. And then Sally says, did I make a fool of myself? And you say, I look like fool. So I look like fool. And then Max says, well. And then Laura says, no, it's great. No, great. Max, I think you dancing around the backyard pretending you're a chicken is carrying it too far if you ask me. No, great. You pretend. So I think you pretend, act same as a chicken, dancing around. That is ridiculous. And then Laura says, nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. And the ask you, you're going to point at Max, because she's talking to Max. Nobody asked you. And then Sally say, I wasn't a chicken. Not chicken me. I was a goose. Mother goose. You've got paint on your face, is what Max says next. Face, you have paint. You've got paint on your face. All right. Sorry, I'm thinking. You have paint on your face. Okay. You would say, face, you have paint, and then you point to wherever the face is. Okay, so face, you have paint, point to it. And then Sally says, oh, sorry. And she goes, oh, sorry. This is O-I-C, sorry. And then Max says, what is that, a cow? And so Max would be, that what? Cow? And Sally says, no, it's a flower. You say no, and you point to it wherever the paint is. So when she's talking about it, she's got the paint on her face. So you point to it, and you say flower. Batman, okay, he painted my face of the children. He asked me what I wanted. So this is want, what, and I told him a flower. And then Laura says, can you help clean it? And so help me clean, and then you point to wherever the face paint is. So I think it's on Sally. So help me clean, point to Sally's face. And then Sally says to Laura, you're lucky to work with kids every day. Every day you work with kids, you lucky. And Laura says, oh, there's this girl in my class. Laura. Okay, she says, oh, there's this girl in my class. She was very sad. I asked her what's wrong, and she said, so my class have one girl. She was sad. I asked her, wrong, what? She say, I go home, talk mom. Can't. So when I go home, I can't talk to my mommy. And then because you would sign, where am I at? Oh, here we go. So talk mom can't. Why? Hearing. The mom's hearing. Sign, she doesn't know. None. And then so she finger spells. So I met the mom and I explained the daughter's feeling what. And then mom what'd the mom do? She secretly or confidential. Wait a minute. The mother. Okay. The mother. Confidential. Start, take, sign, class. Secret. Why? Surprise daughter. So that whole part was, so I explained to the mother, daughter's feeling, and the mother, without telling the daughter, so she kept it a secret from the daughter, began, start, that's began, sign language classes. secretly to surprise her daughter. And then we go to on Sunday. On Sunday. I'm looking for where I typed it at so I can see where I'm at. Sunday, 2 of them go to church. In the middle of the service, we're going to sign this for service. This is the lecture or like the sermon. Mother signed the Lord's Prayer with the daughter the first time. The next morning, the girl came running into class and the girl was saying, guess what? Guess what? It was a miracle. God cured my mom's hearing, and now she's deaf. That's exactly how you would sign it. So it would be the girl came running into class and guess what? Guess what? Miracle. God melted my mom's hearing. And then you would sign melt again. Now she's deaf. And then they laugh and, hey, did you let Batman paint your face? And she signs Batman, paint your face, and you actually sign it on your face, or you could sign paint your face. And then Adam says no. Why? You're the birthday boy. You. And then now we're at, oh wow, how many candles are on your birthday cake? 6. And then you, wow, your birthday cake have, here I typed candles, I typed that wrong. So it's, wow, your birthday cake, candles, how many? 6? And then you blow out the candles. Go, I should. So let the candles go out. See it? I should. Now we're on page 22. Adam, can I play with my computer now? So you would sign computer play now. And then Laura says, sure, go ahead. And then she signs his knee is better today. Today, point to his knee, spell knee, Knee, improve. And Sally says, Dr. Peters, Peters, is wonderful. And then Laura says, Dr. Peters is retired. And then Dan says, he has a new doctor now. He's very good. And so Dan, you say, now have a new doctor. He's very good. So this is talented. And then Max says, is he hearing or deaf? And then you say, hearing or deaf, which? And then Dan said, he's hearing. What does that have to do with? And then, so you say, hearing, important, why? And Sally says, I remember when I brought you to see Dr. Peters just a few days after you were born. I remember bringing you to Dr. Peters, you recently born. And then she says, you were so tiny and so precious. You were so tiny and precious. And then I held you in my arms. I held you in my arms for 9 days. This is the handshake. 9 days. And then I put you down. Never. I fed you. I changed you. And I watched you sleep. And your arms like that when you say watch you sleep because you're sleeping in the arms. And I prayed to God to give me strength. And I thought, pray for God, give me strength. Okay? And then Laura says, strength for what? Strong for what? And Sally says, to follow his will. All right, so when you're talking about God, you're almost always pointing up to the sky because that's where God is. So to follow his will. So you say him, like it's God, and then want to follow. And then Dan says, when God made Laura, he made no mistakes. And then God created I'm going to type that here instead of make. I don't know what I'm going to type to make. Created. So when God created Laura, we fingerspell Laura. Mistake none. And then we go to the very bottom of page 23 where we are chasing a balloon. Where are we at? Chasing. And then so balloon, chasing a balloon. That's all he was doing. So balloon, chase, finish. He do. I yelled at him to stop. I yelled, stop, careful. And then he couldn't hear me, right? Yeah, he couldn't hear me. And so hear me can't. I had to watch him fall. I watched and he fell. And self hurt. So I watched him fall and he hurt himself. So I watched him fall and he self hurt. And then it was like, same as a dream. It was awful. Page 24. Wait. Nope. Sorry. Strong for what? Okay, sorry. I didn't type it on here. So, okay. Page 24. He's going to trip and fall again. There's nothing we can do to prevent it. Okay? So, trip and fall again, he will. So, you're going to say trip and fall again. He will. Prevent, impossible. And then Dan says, maybe we can, or maybe there is. What if next time, God forbid, it should ever happen. So, maybe we can. Suppose, or if, next time, if it happens again, I hope not, but if the next time he's chasing the balloon, and then here's where it gets hard, okay? So there's the balloon. He's chasing the balloon. It leads him into traffic. Okay, so there's the balloon. Balloon. Leave your 3 there, and then here comes the car, and then you say he's chasing it. And then hear cars. He can't hear the cars, and then I'm going to yell stop, and here he can't, so he can't hear me. And then Laura says he never runs in the street without looking. And then, so you would sign street, okay, street, run into none, look, never. So he's never going to, there's a street, run into it, looking none, without looking, so he's going to look, never, okay. And then Dan says never, eyebrows are up, and Laura says never, flat-faced. And then Dan says, how do you know? You know how. And Laura says, because I taught him. Because I teach him. And then deaf kids don't just wander off into traffic. So you sign traffic, wander, deaf kids don't. You know that. Okay? You never read about deaf kids walking aimlessly into traffic. It doesn't happen. And so for that part, you see, you read deaf kid, traffic. This is the walking part. Never not happen. Okay, so it doesn't happen. For doesn't happen, it not happen. Dan says, I just love him so much. And then, so I love him a lot. And Laura says, I know, I love him too. I know, me same. And then Dan says, I think this is it. What if we were given the ability, the power to change the direction of his life? So she says, suppose, or if we power, his future change could. So we were given the ability to change his life, or the direction of his life, his future. So again, that part is, suppose we power, his future change could. And then Laura says, like Mom said today, all you can do is clutch your baby tight and pray for guidance. And so, like Mom says today, Now, your baby, you hold them and you pray for God's guidance. And Dan, guidance. It's kind of a hard one. And then Dan says, God has nothing to do with it. Where are we at? God related not. Today, things are different now. So today, everything is different. There's computer, and then you fingerspell microchips, microchips, and then signal processors, and electric receivers. Okay? And these have the power to heal now, not God. And they power now God, and you'd sign nothing. Okay? And then when I spoke to the new doctor, he said, we have an option. So new doctor and I, we discuss. He said we had a choice. And then Laura says, the choice is what? Or what's the option? And then Dan says that we have the unique opportunity to choose whether Adam is. And then he says, the doctor says, Adam, wait, no, I messed up. I'm in the wrong spot. Choose what? Okay, we have the special opportunity to choose if Adam has a cochlear implant. This is the hand shape that goes back here on your head, cochlear implant. And Laura says, cochlear implant? Her eyebrows are down. And Dan says, the doctor said Adam is a good candidate for one. Okay, doctor said Adam, good candidate for one. And Laura says, no, it looks like she's mad, so she exclaims it. And now we're on page 26, the very last bit that I interpret, or at least for today. And 26. If we took that path, and so in ASI you can't really say we took a path. So you would say if we decide on a cochlear implant. So if we, now this sign for we means the two of us. So you're going to be talking about me and Laura, because Laura and him are the ones deciding. So if we decide cochlear implant, and Laura says, I don't know. Oh, wait, no. She says, wait, if we decide on a cochlear implant, and then, what did I sign? No. Okay, if we took that path, absolutely not. That's what I said. Okay, sorry. So if we decide cochlear implant and she says absolutely not, okay? So it's don't. This is another sign for don't, but it means definitively. I will not. No. Sorry, I typed no as in K-N-O-W, and that's not the same sign. And then Dan says, that's exactly what I told him. And then I said the same, And then Laura says, good. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go back. Absolutely not. Dan says, that's what I said. I said, same, And then Laura says, I don't want them drilling into Adam's skull and putting wires in his head. Why? What for? So that you said, Adam, or the name sign you come up with, skull, drill, put in, and you put it in on the head, wire, why, for. So this is the why, and this is what for. And then Dan says, that's exactly what I told him, and then said, exactly, or precise, I tell. And Laura says, good. Okay. And then Dan says, then he explained that it's not like that anymore. It's a new world now. Technology has advanced. It's shooting us into another universe. These implants today are small, harmless, and you can hardly see them. This is a good part. Okay. Then doctor explained, not the same as before. It's a new world now. The technology has improved. It's shooting us into another. So we're gonna say rocket, or it means to shoot off. So shoot off into a new world, Now, cochlear implants today are small, hurt none. See, a little bit, really, you can't. Okay, so that's when you're saying that technology has gone to a new world. Now, cochlear implants today are small. They don't hurt none, and you see only a little bit, really. You can't see them. Okay, so that is the end for today. I am going to send the gloss in my email. Okay, good luck. Have a great day.